I'm sitting here with Chris Hord. Chris Hord is the owner of this golf course. We're at the Palm Valley Golf Course.
Yep.
And this is off of, what's the name of that street right there?
It used to be 210. I think it's now just they go call it Palm Valley Road.
Was that the road that went through all the way?
It was. This road was pretty much straight all the way to Davis Park. There was a couple turns in it.
Okay.
And then you would have hit the old Palm Valley Bridge, which is now Farms.
Well, I'm going to have, so Chris is the owner, and he's been the owner of the Palm Valley course for how long?
Well, my parents built it in 1989. The range opened up in 1990. They opened the course, and I've kind of taken over most of the duties since 2014.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, my mom's still involved, but she likes to be the supervisor and point and tell us what to do, and we have to listen.
So now that it's open to the public too, I want to make sure people know.
Yeah, we're a public course. There's no memberships. There's no tee times. There's no dress code out here. We're really a family-friendly place. My dad's dream was to have a place that was affordable for everyone and easily accessible for everyone. So we have kids 3 years old sometimes out here, and we used to have a gentleman play 18 holes twice a week, who was in his 90s. It is all walking, so.
And do you have carts, or is it a push?
We do have pull carts,
okay.
but it's still all walking. But it's a great way to get out and get a little exercise. It's not a long course. You can get done in about an hour, hour and a half.
Okay, that is pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm used to 4 hours, 5 hours on an 18 hole, and it goes by pretty slow. Chris had seen a video I did on the Palm Valley Bridge, and then I got an email from him. And as a person who's lived here his whole life, I wanted to search back into the history of Palm Valley and educate people who are new here about what the background and history is of this wonderful place we live in. So I want to ask you, Chris, what is it that you enjoyed most about growing up here?
What I loved about it is you have a huge city of Jacksonville, but over in this area until recently, you kind of felt like you were in the country, gave you that small town feel. I remember driving my dad's small Mitsubishi Mighty Max truck when I was 11 years old,
right,
around the property and stuff. Our school bus stop used to be right there, and it was a dirt road that they paved recently.
The road out front one?
Well, the ranch road, the one that
okay.
meets up with it. And you just had that small hometown feel, but you still had the access of a big city.
Yeah. Back onto to the golf course, you ever hit a hole in one?
I have. It took me a long time, considering most of our holes are par threes. It probably should have happened a lot sooner. But I did hit one. It was not a great round, and so I wasn't the most jubilant when it happened. But I do have that in the books now, so I can.
Do you have the ball in the? I know some people put them inside of a little plaque, or did you save it?
I did save it. I wrote the date on it, and I kept the scorecard. I haven't mounted it or anything like that, but I probably will one day.
And what's been your lowest handicap?
Well, I don't really play a lot of golf except for out here, so I have shot 4 under par out here before.
Okay, wow.
Which is a pretty decent score.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I've ever been 4 under par for a round, ever. So living out here, what's the strangest or the funniest thing that you've ever seen or heard of on the course?
We've had a wild gecko or iguana out here.
Yeah.
I don't know if he belonged to somebody else, but he ended up coming on property and stayed here for about a month or two. And so you hear stories from people all over saying, hey, we saw this gecko out here. And then we've had some horses break through the fences. We've actually had, since we're a big field, we've actually had helicopters come here to life flight people from around the area.
Because they can land here. Is there something that maybe has disappeared here that you used to know about, used to go to, things that have changed here over time? In fact, you mentioned that this used to be, was it a horse ranch or?
Yeah, so this whole area was a horse farm area. The actual property the golf course is built on was an old rodeo and horse farm, and they actually have one of our buildings used to be a concession stand. This pro shop used to be a horse feed building. Then my grandfather and my dad put the bathroom, the walls, and ceiling into it. And a lot of people might not know, connecting with the bridge, that the Palm Valley Road back in the early 1900s was actually bricks.
Oh.
And you'll see them in the actual 20-mile development in Nocatee. All those bricks are from the original road when they dug it up.
Right, that's true, right.
And it was kind of an interesting story that, they built that road pretty quickly. It was the only access, and they used to carry palms. That was what it was all about. And when the automobile came along, the new roads were too narrow and they couldn't quite handle the weight of the car, so they actually just paved right over it and made it wider. Yeah, the old Palm Valley Bridge actually was so narrow that when we were on our school bus going to school, they had to go single file. You couldn't have 2 cars going at the same time, or you would definitely scrape the surface.
So people have to be patient.
Yes.
Okay. What's it like to have a golf course of your own, really? And have you always been involved in the business?
I've always been involved in the business. We have videos of me when I was 4 years old picking up sticks, doing some self-irrigation as a child out here, and it's all I've known. I love it. It's not as glamorous as people may think. As soon as we get done this interview, I'm going to be in a hole, laying some pipe and doing some trenching. But it's a great. For me, the thing that makes this a wonderful business is I'm meeting people who are my age who said they learned to play golf when they were 5 years old out here, and now they're bringing their kids out to play the game of golf. To see it go generational, and to see families and just people who love the game of golf coming out here and be able to play at an affordable place. Like I said, you get done in an hour and a half, so you can come here after work on weekdays, get around to golf and then go home.
Your day is not shot. You can still go on and do your business
Exactly.
and have dinner. That's a good point. And how many people do you employ directly in this golf course?
Well, obviously the golf business is seasonal, so coming up we're going to start employing a few more. We have about 12 to 15 on staff, and I mean, probably the greatest staff we've had. We have a superintendent, Chuck Roll. He's really taken this course in the last few years and got in good shape. Kimberly Lawler is our head pro. She's an LPGA and PGA Pro, and one of the best in the area. So I'm very fortunate to have the staff we have and the crew we have out here to be able to maintain and hopefully continue to grow this business and its quality.
What a great resource, though, to have a pro that teaches here. I mean, it's so accessible to everybody who lives right in Nocatee. I definitely want people to know that part of it, because I know there are a lot of golfers, myself included, and I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great to know. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. What kind of role do you think your golf course plays in the economy of Palm Valley?
I don't know how much of a role it plays in the economy of Palm Valley per se, but I know what it plays in the role of the golf industry. There's not a place where people can come out and say, "Hey, this is the first time I'm playing golf." I hear this all the time. I'm intimidated to go play a golf course. Yeah. And so when they come out here, there's not that intimidation factor. You'll see people in board shorts, or you'll see kids. You see the horse farms next door, and when people come out here after the first time, they just say, "Wow, I really love the game of golf." Okay. I'm not quite sure how my dad decided to be the architect and design it, but it's pretty incredible how difficult it is to shoot par, break par out here, but how easy it is just to get around if you're a beginner.
That's good to know. Okay. What would you like to see happen in Palm Valley over the next 5 years?
Hopefully, we will have a new pro shop. As much as I love this horse feed building, it's seen its days 30 years ago. So I'd like to build a new pro shop, maybe like the range, so people can come out here in the especially in the winter. If we do that, then we'll have a covered heating area, so in the rain or the summer we'll have fans, and the winter we'll have heaters. So those are kind of the things to do, and constantly improving the golf course. We just rebuilt our 9th green last year, and hopefully it'll open in May. And I like to rebuild some other aspects of the golf course as well.
And so my last question is, what should our viewers, what should the people who live around here expect when they come here for the first time to play their first round of golf?
I like to explain it. Imagine having a rich uncle who has a golf course in his backyard. That's what you're going to feel like. You're going to feel like that our employees treat you like your family, and it's just a real laid back experience. That we have an oak tree with a picnic table. We encourage people to bring their own food out. We sell chips and drink. We have a beer and wine license, but Publix is right down the road. Get a sub, Papa John's, Primo Pizza, other places to deliver out here. We want you to feel like once again you're at your own house.
That's a great answer. And one of the things I wanted to tell our viewers is you can see as we're recording that this is a busy place, and we're here on let's say it's Tuesday morning, and you can see regulars, you can see people coming in here, and so you may not hear everything we say perfectly over the microphone, but that's because it's a real business that's working and doing its part in the community. And Chris reached out to me, and I'm grateful to him, because now I have another resource to talk to about the things that have happened here and that are going to happen, because you probably have more of a pulse on the changes here, being as long as you've been here, than most people.
Right.
In anticipation of what might happen. So I really thank you for reaching out, and again, thank you so much, Chris.
No problem. Thank you very much.
You bet.